Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the what's the DM's next move collectively. And actually I want to say I already did this video and I have a hard time believing in coincidences anymore. I've just seen too many things. Even when it seems like a coincidence later on, you see how it fits in with the puzzle. And that's just like I just uploaded a video that was more than 15 minutes long and it did fine. But like 3 times now when I've gone to upload like something to do with collective DMs that especially have to do with them being enlightened to being in toxic relationships or moving away from it, that's when it seems like they don't want to upload. And I do know I have a fair amount of shade thrown at me for being authentic and for trying to for being just faithful. It's funny, I'm not going to go deep into it, but I know that these messages, a lot of times, karmics do not want them to come out because they're showing that divine masculines are growing and seeing them for who they are. And a lot of divine masculines are even starting to get on YouTube and watch different readers and recognizing the situation that they're in. So I'm not sure how that plays out. It was interesting because I was so sure that the video was within time constraints, and I went and like finished up some laundry stuff and did all that, and then came back to see that it had not uploaded at all, and it's doing like the other ones did when they did not want to upload. So whatever that has to do with it, it feels like to some degree that it's telling those of you who are watching this video that there are things going on in the background. There are delays, there are there's communications happening that you're either being protected from or that are being delayed being brought to you. Now, in the other video, I had pointed out that while I was waiting for the Divine Masculine check-in to upload, that I saw the number 19 a few other times, and a few other readers also pulled out the Sun card, so there's like a lot of illumination coming in. It kind of feels like it almost feels like a lot of divine masculines have been so very deep into like dark night of the soul energy that it's like when the arrow gets pulled back, like the farther it gets pulled back, the farther it shoots forward. And it's almost like now in that moment they're getting hit with waves of illumination and enlightenment in a good sense. But that doesn't mean that they're out of the fight. In fact, it probably more swings them right into the middle of it. And sometimes when we hit enlightenment, we also kind of have this, like, we almost kind of grieve when we were ignorant. Because, the phrase ignorance is bliss. Once you know something, you cannot unknow it. Especially when it comes to enlightenment, and especially when you start to recognize that you are the author of your own story, and that you had a choice before, and you have choices now. And even though enlightenment means getting to the place of giving yourself grace for what you didn't know before, it's still, it reminds me of the Rod Stewart song, and it's funny because that song has been in my mind over the last day or so, is that I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. And, like that, kind of recognizing that even if yesterday was just the day that we were younger, like going, why did I make this choice again? Which fits in with the, their check-in, because they had that Lover's Reverse. Now, because I already did the reading, I can't do it all the same, but the cards, I hadn't shuffled for the new reading yet, because I was so sure I was going to go do laundry and do stuff like that. And, it may even be that that's part of where Divine Masculine's next moves are. Like, they're like, I'm gonna take care of me, I'm gonna do some self-care, I'm gonna do some laundry, and then they're being stopped. They're being stopped again and stopped again, which is a lot of this energy, especially with Uranus in retrograde. Anything that we were kind of using as a comfort to avoid getting out, avoid facing ourselves and avoid facing any toxic situations we were in, those are being shaken up. You can't do that. You can't go that way anymore. You can't use your old crutches. Even if they've been drinking or using other forms of escapism, they're not working. It's not working. It's going in the opposite. Now, the homophone cards that we got were deer, as in deer letter, in reverse, and peace. And what I had picked up on that immediately is that they really, really want to reconcile. They want, if nothing else, to be friends. They really miss that feminine essence that you bring. For some of you, there may have been a recent experience that you had with them where they were able to see you just being you, and they missed that. For others, it may be that there have been limited communication, and they're missing that. They're missing the way that you guys used to talk, the friendship that you used to have, even if you were romantically involved before. And many of them would really like to tell you more, but there are eavesdroppers. There are karmic third parties involved. They're not in a situation where they feel safe to completely open up to you. And a lot of them are also worried about what you might reject them. You might reject their letter. You might give them sort of a Dear John sort of thing. But this is what their next move is. They want to create a peace. And it might be that they are in the process of removing obstacles to communication, or it reminds me of like Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and to a degree Knight of Cups, in reverse, like a message that's supposed to come through, but it's being delayed. So perhaps have patience more. I know we hate hearing that sometimes, but they're. It's funny, what I was just thinking is the opposite of peace is war. And it could be that many of them are kind of, there has, especially since Lionsgate, there's been kind of this energy of like spiritual war all around. You're seeing it in the news and on social media and things like that. And it's funny, I don't typically do the hot topic card first, but I'm going to do it because this guy came up on the top of the deck again, and I really feel like masculines are pulling in kind of hermit energy, especially with their money, and especially with karmics who have been all about the masculine's money. But this more so is that eavesdropper energy, is that energy of the karmic trying to be involved in everything that the masculine does, in all four corners of it: financially, romantically, emotionally, spiritually. And they're really trying to jump in and get that, and they're finding themselves thwarted, actually, because masculines are not allowing it. They're going, nope. And what was at the heart of the matter, it's funny, this reading is coming out backwards. So I kind of feel like, for those of you that have been noticing the cycles, this is masculines coming back around to where they would have jumped into the cycle with this karmic, and they're now coming out of it. And this was in the heart of the matter. It was the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is facing the consequences and or getting caught for cheating, lying, stealing, manipulating, things like that. And I think to a degree this is masculines recognizing that they need to face the consequences, but more than anything, I think this is karmics getting caught by the masculines, especially because in our shadow card position is judgment, which I get a sense is both masculines getting ready to kind of face the music of the consequences of what they have chosen and done, in order to, like, they're kind of facing this Chiron and Aries retrograde energy of learning to be authentic and recognizing that facing the consequences of admitting that you're wrong, or that you did wrong, or that you made wrong choices is a lot better, a lot easier, and it brings a lot better karma and healing if you own it, rather than running away from it, trying to escape it, or trying to pretend that it doesn't exist. But I think otherwise too, like, this is a lot of masculines, they're already done with the situation. They've been done. They may still be caught up in delays and things. I get a sense that a lot of karmics, recognizing that this is done, are really trying to hold on to the situation by any means necessary, including creating more fights, including gaslighting, including all, whatever it is that they can. Like, they're, that war energy kind of comes in there, as to where, like, You know, it's funny, what I kind of get the sense on there is that they're so, they're fighting so hard to hold on to the situation that it's actually helping masculines get out of it and to see them and to uphold boundaries of that Seven of Swords reversed energy, because they're seeing just how far these karmics will go to try to hold on to them when they don't even have an emotional reason for doing so. Like, they want to hold on to a house or an apartment or a car or money, like these shallow materialistic things being uncovered by Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And the cards that came out, that we had, and now this one had popped out first. I remember it popped out first on its own, which is healing, at least healing thoughts, prayers, and attempting to. It's kind of a travel card too, to a certain degree, but they're still at kind of a crawl. You know, they're still kind of, it's like if they were picking weeds out of a garden. They're like, okay, I've got this one, and I've got that one. What's next? But the next cards that came out was the Five of Wands, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Page of Cups in reverse. And what I really got pulled, what I still am pulled to on these two, is that it feels like this is the karmic and her children and our child. And it may be that that's been part of why the masculine has been having a hard time letting go, even if these are not his children in particular. If the karmic has children, you know, if he really is a divine masculine, he cares. Even if he pretends like he doesn't, he cares what happens to those children. And even, you know, sometimes it's hard to allow yourself to leave a situation where you know that there are children that need a better parental figure. But if you're caught up with somebody like this Queen of Cups, there's nothing you can really do for the kids anyways, short of, you know, telling authorities. And maybe they might even be doing that. If this is, you know, with this Judgment card, that very much could have to do, you know, it's alerting. You know, they could be alerting the authorities. They could be letting the community know the truth of what's going on. And the Wands, you know, oftentimes that's both, that's boundaries, but it's also communication. And I really got called, I'm still really called to the red figure in this one. It's the only one that looks kind of feminine, and she looks like she's beating on the only guy wearing a green shirt, which is that heart chakra energy, and the red is that root chakra energy, and it really feels like, I don't know, like masculines are kind of realizing whatever this family situation or work situation is, it could be a mixture of both. They may have been trying to mix business with pleasure, so to speak. They may have been trying to build their empire and be an emperor with this person, but they're recognizing that this person is the first person to whack them on the head and emasculate them and put them in difficult situations where everybody else also ends up attacking them. So I'm getting the sense of that sun energy, the illumination, but also the sense that I think the masculines are also, they're manifesting, they're either manifesting a little drama to allow themselves to heal and get out of the situation, or they're in their, you know, spirit is communicating to them that drama is going to happen, it's going to come anyways, and it's going to come through this, you know, this negative, I want to say toxic feminine energy, and probably play out through children. And what they really just need to do is allow it to happen. Stop trying to rescue trust. Stop trying to build on an immature situation. Stop allow, or not even stop allowing this person to like photobomb and things, but just allow them to reveal themselves in the immature energy they are already in. Allow them to face the consequences of what they are doing, and face the consequences of what they are doing. So I'm getting that sense that this is, you know, their next move is prayer, allowing dramas to play out, kind of that, like they've been afraid that drama will happen, and now they're almost not excited for it to happen, but they know it's going to happen. They're going to allow it to happen now. And it's kind of that, like, this is going to free me. This is going to heal me and allow me to follow my heart. So I'm going to let that happen. And I'm going to just let people be who they are. And that includes allowing you, Divine Feminine, to be who you are with them, which may help, may or may not. Now, I'm at my time constraint, so I'm going to end this here and hope that it uploads. If not, Suppose I'll try one more time. Anyways, thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. It puts your energy into these readings and helps your story become a part of the story. I'll see you in the next video.